Declan, first I gotta say, brother, it's great to have a chance to speak with you. As we speak, what part of the world are you in right now?
I'm currently residing in Prince Edward Island in a little town called Summerside. Um, yeah, it's a ways away, to say
What's
the
the
least.
weather like there now, man? Because I know right now for us, we're finally getting some
Yeah, man.
cool air because it's been hot.
Oh, really, dude? I work at a daycare,
Mhm.
and like I work at the Boys and Girls Club, and I just came back from like I'm on my lunch break right now, man. I got the work shirt on, and it is hot in PEI, man. It is hot, like upwards of like 37 with a humidex.
Well, look, man, when we talk about hot, we're really talking about your band, and congratulations, man. You guys are putting out some great music representing the red, white, and the maple leaf. But also, man, you are part of, I could say, an alumni for this year, and it has to do with three letters RBC. Congratulations. For folks who are wondering what we're talking about, what are you part of right now?
Man, RBCX Music is it's a wonderful program that takes artists that have a talent and are unique in a unique world, and they give them a platform for them to perform on, and with multiple live performance opportunities and just a lot of help behind the scenes as well. It really helped us specifically. We're in the studio recording our album right now, our first album, our debut album, and they're really helping us with that. It's We're wrapping it up, coming to a close soon, and we're really excited because of the chance to be first up with RBCX Music. That's the platform I think we need right now, and along with the other artists, it's just wonderful.
And you know what, man? I've been doing a lot of interviews with folks part of the RBCX music program. And what I love about it is I end up running into them, man, on red carpets at Juno Award nominations and things like that. So
Man.
you are part of an amazing group. How did you hear about this? And I mean, what were your thoughts originally? Did you think, why should we try?
Right, man. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My
Yeah.
producer, he put it up on his story when they posted there's like 1 week left. And we applied on a whim. I didn't know much about it. Yeah, I know, right? I didn't know much about it, but I was like, listen, like this could like I knew Logan Richard is an alumni of RBCX Music, and he's also from Prince Edward Island. I know Logan, and I know he did it, and he's had a wonderful career after that so far. And I said, you know what, like let's give it a shot. And and another thing, and I'll be honest, like they emailed me back when we got accepted. I had no idea what it was. Um and to the point where they emailed me again, and they were like, hey, like congratulations. And I didn't see the first one. I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing, because like I was we were in complete shock. We were in complete shock, and yeah, still riding that high, to be honest, man. Yeah.
Oh, I love stories like this, man.
Right.
And like I said, I love the sound. I love what you guys are doing. But let's go into a little bit of history. We were just actually talking before we started recording. You were kind of like born into the business.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you could say that, man. Yeah, I come from a very musical family, and I'm very thankful of that. My grandfather playing in the folk scene around the East Coast, with people of Neil Diamond-esque, with Neil Diamond, all those like legends like Gordon Lightfoot. And and my dad has always told me from a young age that I have some of his genes instilled. My dad working in the music industry, he started working at Sam the Record Man in St. John, New Brunswick, and then got transferred in Toronto on Yonge Street, working at the Sam the Record Man, and then worked his way through into more of the music industry with radio, and then the business side with like artists and representation. So I've been bred knowing the knowledge of the industry, and just how tough it is, and how unique you have to be And so yeah, and I've had two supporting parents that have, you know, through ups and downs and everything, they've always been like, this is your thing, you need to do this. And yeah,
You know
so
what's amazing? I probably either ran into your dad when I was looking for vinyl at Sam the Record Band, or at some point when I was probably doing interviews with artists or something. There
right.
had to have been a 6 degrees of separation there, man.
it's it's such a small world. Like
Yeah.
I was born in the States. My
Mhm.
dad was born in St. John. My mother's from like Massachusetts, and in like 2010 we came to Canada, and we moved to St. John, and then we lived in Cape Breton for a bit, and then we came to PEI. We have no family in PEI, so it was completely on a whim. And you know, the more I'm in the industry now, the more I realize the world is so small. Like,
Yeah.
run into so many different people, and you're like, you know what? I actually like I know you, and one of the RBCX music members, Charlie Houston. We were just over this past week. So she lives in Toronto. She has a like a summer home in Summerside in Prince Edward Island, and she's had it for years, and we've never ran into each other. And it's just kind of a small world. We met for the first time this week. We made some tunes, and we kind of laughed at that, you know, like, it's such a coincidence.
I love it, man.
Man.
Now, the name of the band,
Yes,
what is it again? Because I want to make sure I say it correctly.
it's Norter. So origin wise,
Yes, please.
yeah, so it's kind of quite simple. I myself have been trying to do music for so long, and I've grown up in a neighborhood, um, just much like everybody else. But I know, like, I hold a lot of like things near and dear to this neighborhood. I live on Notre Dame Street, like Notre Dame. So I just switched some letters around and made it so, like, you say Norter, it's spelled Notre, but I just spell it a different way, and it works.
That's genius, man. But what's also genius and crazy is how and the timing when you guys got together, because when you guys were getting together, the world was completely changing. Talk a little bit about that, please.
Well, here's the thing. So with the band, I met one of the guitarists, Keith. I've known Keith for years. We met at a rock camp back in like 2019, and we always talked about let's do something. Like, we should do something because Keith and I have very similar music tastes. And then COVID. So, you know, he lives 45 minutes away. The band operates in Charlottetown, which is like 45 minutes away from where I live. So when the pandemic struck, it was hard to get the wheels in motion. And I was constantly trying to go to studios, but because of the pandemic, they didn't have enough revenue to try and bring in people because everything was shut down. So then in 2021, I went to school for music at Holland College. I met the bass player, Patrick. Patrick's from New Brunswick. He's from Quispamsis area, and he has a lot of friends that are musicians, and two of those friends is James and Garrett, and they're also in Norter. James Gray and Garrett Sherwood. Garrett plays the drums, wicked like drummer, and James plays the guitar just equally as good. And I put out our first single. I recorded and played all the instruments on it, and I had help with the drums. And then I was talking to Patrick, and we're like, we need to start something. And I got Keith involved, and then he brought along Garrett and James, who moved here this September to start school. And we started practicing in like December. We got our first show in December, and we've been trucking along ever since.
Okay, but when you said you were recording, this is
Yeah.
during the pandemic, correct?
No, like this was like 2022. Like
So it
some
was just after the pandemic. Because I was going to ask you, were you recording your stuff like at home? Because I know studios weren't
Oh
open or
yeah,
anything like
well,
that.
that's the thing. That's how Norter started for me. Like, me alone, I thought it was gonna be a solo project. I started recording in my house. I got a Mac, Logic, under influence from some people in my circle, some mentors told me. He said, Scotty Hill of Skid Row, if you know who that is.
Yes.
He's a very good friend of my dad's, and he's been somewhat like a figure for me in my life for a long time. And he told me, Logic Pro, get Logic Pro. That's the best thing you need right now. I got that, some speakers, and I started using what I already know how to play, like guitar, drums, bass, piano, and I started singing. And in the comfort of my own home, I could sing like my heart out. But then I started thinking like maybe I should like learn how to sing in public before. And then yeah, so I just started making some demos and creating a sound with multiple different influences. And then, like I honed that craft for like a year and a half, and then we started Norter in like December of
What do
2026.
you describe when you talk about Norter? What's the sound like? How do you guys describe it as?
Well, we're very thankful that we have a good group around us. Like the band itself, we're just friends, and we just share music all the time. Like Patrick is a huge fan of grunge music, while as like me and Keith, we love hip hop music. Like, and everyone loves hip hop music in that area, but like, I don't know, man, like for bands, I like the Backseat Lovers, and if you've ever heard of them, just very big reverb guitars and big sounds, like up and down. You bring the volume up, the dynamic up and down, like just it creates more emotion. When people talk about our style for like a description, they say energetic, romantic indie rock. They're trying to put us in their own kind of lane here, but like it's great. Like I just see so many different influences from the hip hop side. Like I love Tyler the Creator
Yeah.
and what he does. And since it's so vast, and then the Backseat Lovers, the Strokes, the Smiths, just some figureheads in that indie rock scene, and we just pick it apart and individually make it our own sound.
It's funny because people don't realize on that side of Canada, there's a huge musical melting pot going on over there. And I can remember, especially last year, it seemed like almost every other artist I was speaking with was coming from that side of the world. What is going on with you guys there?
The East Coast has a criminally underrated music scene in PEI as well. I will say that so many bands that we play with, like there's a band from here called the Absolute Losers. They are absolutely incredible. Like they're so good. They're a three-piece band, like this pop punk trio, post punk trio, and they're incredible. They've put out 2 singles. They just put out another single today. They're on their way to release a record, an album, and it's so good and unique. And there's other bands like that there too. Like there's this band called Gizmo, and just bands that we play with all the time because we're all friends. Like there's a really good tight community here, and we love to share the bill with like these bands that we love. And like Patrick, our bass player, he's in his own band with James, our guitarist, called Sweet Nectar, and they're another three-piece grunge band, and they're amazing as well. And we love to take like everyone and just combine ourselves to make it like the best scene it can here, and just show like everywhere else in the country like this is where it's going down. Like it's different over here, man. It's different.
Well, you were talking about music, man. Let's talk about yours. What's the latest single right now that we can check out?
Well, man, we got a single. We just put it out in February. It's called Angela, and we have another one called Unfinished Business that we put out in November. We're closing in on releasing a third single before, hopefully the album. Probably we're gonna be dropping an album here soon. Stay tuned for that promotional. It's gonna be crazy, off the hook videos, man. Like the visuals are something that we are fond of for music. Is like I was reading a book when I started this. And it said in the book, you need to create a world for your music. Like you need people to tap in and dive into the world of what Norter is, like whether that be merch, visuals, the music, whatever, and individually the personality of the band. So we're just going to be bringing a lot of stuff to the table in the next coming months for promotionals about our album. And again, I'm thankful for RBCXMUSIC too. That will help us get those visuals and promotionals out and bring people into the scene here. Because again, it's incredible.
Let me jump on Angela. What's that song about, man?
Angela, nothing in particular, man. Just a song. It's just it's weird when I write lyrics. It's a jumble of different things. You know what I mean? Just hopefully trying to get with somebody, and it fizzles out. But like they're always around mentally for you. They're like always on your mind all the time.
The
But
what if?
yeah, the what if, exactly. The what if. It's a lot of our plot lines for a lot of our tunes is a what if. But like I think we put a good twist on it.
I like it, man. Tour wise, what's happening with you guys? Your performances? Are you guys just gonna be playing the area? Are you gonna try to maybe head out in certain parts of Canada and maybe even hitting Toronto?
We're touring right now, man. We've been touring since we started in like mid-June. We're playing all across the Maritimes. We played in St. John, Fredericton. Next weekend we're hitting Nova Scotia. So a lot of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. And then we do go to Toronto for our RBCX Music Summit. We're very excited about that. We can't wait to meet everybody there. So this has been our first tour. And I say I think it's going pretty well. We've been packing some places, sharing the bills with some great bands from all across the East Coast. And yeah, we're excited we got a couple more weeks of it. We close it off in like later July in PEI. We finish in PEI, and then we sit tight for a bit, and we sit on what we're about to drop.
And when do you think that's gonna happen? When's the drop gonna happen?
The album we're working for August 25th.
Fantastic.
That's the working date, and we're pretty sure it's going to come out then. But you'll be hearing about it quite soon. I can guarantee you that. A lot of
Damn
stuff.
Skippy on that, brother. Look, congratulations on all the success with the band. Congratulations hooking up with RBCXMUSIC. And I'm looking forward to hearing the new album and everything you're doing. When the new album comes out, man, let's talk again because I'd love to get more info on that and just checking out and seeing everything you guys are doing, man. Like I said, for the third and last time today, congratulations, man. Much deserved.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man.